crash landed. 2 confirmed survivors. Son, this is not training. This is a Class 1 quarantined planet. The threats we will be facing are real. Everything on this planet has evolved to kill humans.
So we saw 2 movies this week, 2 big movies, After Earth and Now You See Me. And I am so happy that I had the privilege of taking a break and talking to some friends about these movies, because when I walked out of them, I thought one thing about them, and then I had a conversation where I realized just how stupid these 2 movies are.
Well, you know, sometimes you want to do that, and like that does help, and other times you end up mad because you're like, fuck it, I was enjoying that movie until that douche ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. It sounds like you need a new set of friends.
No. I got a good set of friends. I mean, they listen to me and they allow me to. It's almost like a therapy session.
Okay.
I guarantee you it's the only set he has, by the way.
It ain't none of us. But it sounds like your friends are like, Corey, what are you smiling about? I don't know. I just saw this movie I thought was a lot of fun. No, you didn't. If you thought it was fun, it was stupid. Tell me about it so I can tell you how stupid it was.
No, it's
now,
not
you ain't
like
smiling now, are you? Now get the fuck on out of here.
I'm sitting in a room talking to a set of action figures. Hey guys, let me tell you about these movies. It's like, no.
You mean dolls?
It's a little devil and angel on his shoulders is what it is.
No, I am my own worst enemy, because they listen. These are good friends. They listen. They say, hey, man, you saw that Will Smith movie. Tell me about it. And I'm smiling like, well, man, it wasn't that bad. It was like this, and it was like that, and then it was, oh, shit. Wait a minute.
I find it fascinating that you needed, like, honestly, 2 sessions of therapy to actually remind you, or at least to finally convince you that what you saw wasn't as great as you thought it was.
No, wait a minute. I didn't say great now, but at least, well, for one of these movies,
I'll say it.
I use that word for one of these movies, and for another, I was still kind of Meek Yoda. Damn, I'm just making up words. I was kind of Machiavelli about it.
I think that's the character that Jaden Smith plays in the
Yeah.
movie.
I thought you said meet Yoda. Oh, therapy sessions not make your opinions great.
When I go to meet Yoda and talk about movies, stupid they are. But they,
Well, I don't know. Jaden Smith, he had this kind of weird accent where he couldn't pronounce R. So they would mediocre.
yeah,
I thought at first that they were trying to do a thing throughout the movie where everybody had some weird
Well, let's
thing.
save. Wait, hold on.
did,
Let's
but-
save and talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about everything in order, because, like I said, one movie I was already kind of thinking mediocre things about it, but I was admiring it for the things other than what's really important to me. And then this other movie had some really great moments until. But let's start with After Earth, because that's the one that I know what co-host and I think about this. I'm eager to hear what you guys think about it, because there's a lot to be discussed right here.
Is there?
Apparently not.
You so much.
Well, some friends you are.
Share the same brain and same penis.
We've joined the brain back together.
Go back and talk to my action figures again.
Yeah.
Now you guys
Same
are in
ass.
trouble.
I know. At least I got my backup over here. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Well, we'll
I
see.
know.
I've seen his allegiance turn on a dime.
Not tonight, though. Not tonight.
I've turned it on cheaper. Like
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we all ultimately felt more or less the same way about it. I don't know precisely how you guys felt, but we go into this going, well, here we go. It's a new M. Night film. Well, yeah, but he's not even putting his name on it. He's saying it's not a big twist film. Yeah, okay, whatever. And it's also the new Will Smith, Jaden Smith film. Well, you don't know. It's a sci-fi movie. It could be good. All right. And I walked out of it more disappointed by it being another Will Jaden Smith film than I was as an M. Night film, to be sure. Because it doesn't really feel like an M. Night film at all.
No,
it doesn't.
No,
But
it's
that
not.
being said, he didn't really bring a lot interesting to the table.
No, he didn't. And the problem I had with this movie mainly has to do with the setup for it, because Will Smith plays some badass ranger who they call a ghost. He has no fear. In fact, the movie opens up with him walking in slow motion, stabbing aliens in the throat, saying, "I ain't scared of shit." And
There's a reason why his name is Cypher.
yeah, is that his name?
That's his name in the
Is
movie.
it?
Yeah,
So-
Cypher. Yeah, he's the legendary Cypher. In the
Oh,
movie.
okay. Well, everybody loves this guy. You know, when he walks around, and everybody's like, "Oh, attention!" You know, even people in the military like, "Oh shit, Cypher's in the room." But he's a true badass. But his son, on the other hand, you get the feeling that he's a disappointment. You know, every time Will Smith looks at his son, he does the same thing, but he has that look of pussy. You know?
I'm sorry, but like watching this, you couldn't help but feel the subtext of this is how their relationship is when the cameras aren't on.
Yeah.
No.
That's exactly what I felt. I was like, wow, this is pretty much Will Smith's story of the last camping trip he had with his son. I mean, where his son is just completely acting like a bitch throughout the entire
Jesus,
trip.
boy, I brought matches. You can't even start a fire. But you know,
I mean,
That's
really,
right.
the Karate Kid.
Well, real quick,
that's your last movie.
I just want to get through this.
Jaden has
What's
a
that?
full bodysuit the whole time because they had to hide the cigarette burns on his arm.
Oh, no, stop it. That is not true. Now, see, you spreading all these rumors about here. You know, no, he beat him with oranges, man. They show no bruises. But so what happens is he decides to take his son out on some mission. Why are you taking your son out on a mission? I don't know. But they get into an asteroid belt. The ship gets all banged up. They got to crash land on a forbidden planet called Earth. And when they get down there,
Welcome to Earth.
No, welcome to Earth. And when they get down there, Will Smith legs all busted up, and so he just looks at Jaden and said, "Well, I can't do shit but narrate for the rest of the movie. So you go out and do the rest of the plot."
He said, "Good luck, son, carrying the rest of this film."
Yeah, he's like, "I earned my money. You know, I earned my movie checks. Now you gotta do yours. All right."
I mean,
So-
what an unfortunate passing of the torch, to be sure. You know, you're like, wait, no, Will, I think you can make it. Try and stand up. Why don't you use your son and strap him to your leg and use him to keep your balance?
Yeah, and that's what he does for the whole movie. He said he's the narrator. That's it. He said, "Boy, put on this wristwatch right here that has holograms and just call me if you need something." And throughout the whole movie, he's sitting up there half passing out from pain. He's like, "Jaden, did you do it? Huh? What?" You know,
And as of course, you can never have a kid, especially a male teenager in a movie, do what they're fucking told to do. It's like they never write kids that way. They write women in horror movies to do the dumb thing and to fall down. And kids are always given explicit instructions that they never follow through. And you're sitting there going, "You dumb fucking bastard! What is your problem?"
Yeah.
Your dad told you simple shit. It's like, "Hey, be still. Don't move." Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna throw a brick at this.
I know.
At this baboon. It's like, God damn it!
I love that when he said when he tells his son, and his son in the movie is named Katai, and of course we already said Cypher's Will Smith, and he says, "Katai, be quiet and don't move." What does Katai do? Get the fuck away from me!
I know. It reminded me of a little Richard Pryor scared all the time.
And it's hilarious that watching this movie, I was like, wow, this is pretty much the Smith story right here between these two. Because when they were doing a press junket for this movie, and I kid you not, there was a bee. They were outside doing a press junket. A bee came flying around Jaden Smith, and that motherfucker flipped the fuck out. He got up out of his chair, he looked like he grabbed a skateboard, and he was like, Dad, hey. Dad. And Jaden, and Will Smith was like, Jaden, it's not a stinger. It's not a stinger. It's all right. So, Dad, he's circling the interview, like, about to knock the shit out of everything.
He's like Frankenstein looking at fire.
He
Knocking down tripods
he
and
looked like
shit.
Michael Jackson with his hair on fire.
Jaden,
Get him
sit
away.
down. Jaden, stop.
Oh, don't mind my son. He's just playing. He's so crazy.
Yeah.
He's adopted, actually. We don't actually look that much alike.
He's like, son, you're not selling this movie.
I don't like the outside, Dad. I don't like it. Can we go back inside?
That is just so warm in your shadow.
It's funny because he's trying to say, no, he's adopted. I want to report us in the background. Nigga, he looks like you. Damn, he does.
I want to go back to my learning
big
cubicle.
ears.
But you know, the problem with Will Smith being the narrator in this and Jaden Smith going out and doing all the work, Jaden Smith, I'm not going to say that he won't ever be a good actor, but he's not a good enough actor to hold this movie together. And you're also expecting, okay, when they say Will Smith, he says, I'm going to be in a movie with my son. We're going to be acting together. Y'all ain't together for most of the movie. Y'all ain't together for most of the movie. And I think the movie would have benefited from having this father and son relationship. If Will Smith had been by his side through most of the movie and helping him out, that would have been one thing. But that distance between them, it's felt by the
Hey,
audience.
you were seeing them bond, and that was supposed to be the point of the movie. You know, at the end of it all, I mean, you're supposed to just see how this father-son relationship really develops. And yeah, when you're on your iPhone talking to your son, I mean, you don't really feel that, you don't feel that effect of being there when the kid is in danger, when he's asking help from his dad. You don't get a sense of any kind of real emotion from the both of them, because they're both being filmed on different sets and not being directed very well.
Yeah.
Neither one is a terribly interesting character to begin with, which is a big part of the problem. And both of them are playing the characters they've been given in such a static way. I mean, you already said about Jaden, you don't like him really as an audience member. You're like, you're not giving me anything here except for people maybe who are having a hard time themselves dealing with, I just wish my dad would appreciate me more. If you're not one of those people, I don't see what you're going to like about this kid.
True.
Because he's whiny, he does everything he's not told to do. He makes tons of mistakes. And it's just he never even has a moment where you go, that was really cool what you just did.
True.
Whereas Will, on the other hand, is the most static, boring, stuffy old dude. He's just like, it's Will Smith. You're like, sing or something. I don't know. Just say something mildly funny.
Get up and dance with an alien.
Do something. Welcome to Earth, motherfucker. I don't know. I mean, I'm kidding. It doesn't have to be that funny or anything, but he's playing it so stuffy, so like career military
So
guy with
stoic
no
and
emotion,
Spartan.
so stoic that every time he's on screen, you're falling asleep.
We need that beacon. You understand? You are going to retrieve that beacon, or we are going to die. Do you understand? Repeat what I just said to you.
I have to go retrieve the beacon, or we're going to die.
Yeah, he doesn't bring anything that lights up. No, nobody does. I mean, honestly, I feel like this movie, it really, like I was going to say, it dropped the ball, but it blew it at the kickoff. And I don't hate this movie, but right off the bat, you get a good 15 minutes. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you get a lot of exposition on like, okay, this is what happened to the world, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. All this setup just to tell a father and son story. It's like, man, this is too much to get us here. Like all that time.
Oh yeah.
That's when you set up the relationship between the two of them, or the lack of one, even showing that they aren't close. There's still a way to do it. Mm-hmm. And Will Smith, had he been like maybe even mean, like a mean black father or something, that would have given you something. Yeah. But he's just
boy, shut up.
Yeah. But he's just nothing.
Well, like you said, they're giving you so much exposition as far as what's going on with human race, all the threats of the human race, and then when you get into the movie, there ain't a damn thing happening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, wow,
none of it matters then.
I'm here to see Will Smith's kid get from point A to point B and fight off monkeys and a bird and a monster.
This could just as well have been a story about a father taking his son out exploring in the woods, or in the deepest part of Africa, in the jungle, and then him getting hurt, and then having to tell his son, okay, you have to go do this. I can't. And it's all
of
on
the
you.
exposition is only there to set up the MacGuffin for the end.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only reason it's there at all. And by the end, I was thinking, wow, if they had made this more a movie about consistently getting chased by that MacGuffin and dealing with that scene to scene, it probably would have been a pretty tense, fun movie.
Sure.
With the kid being hunted.
Well, that doesn't actually even come into it, except for vague referencing until close to the very end. And the rest of it, you get the most unimaginative version of mutated Earth I could have possibly dreamed up. You're like, everything wants to kill you. Well, they're basically just the animals that were already there, only they're a little bit bigger and they look a lot more fake.
Exactly.
And the baboons were cool till he fucked with them.
The baboons were like, in fact, the baboons even said, hey, welcome to Earth. Yeah. Threw a rock at him. Motherfucker, get away from it. But see, it's an interesting thing that you said there, Leon, because, well, one, I want to just get this clear about Jaden Smith and his story. It is an obstacle course movie. Sure. I mean, you're watching this character just go, like as you said, go from point A to point B, just going from one hurdle to another, and that's it. It's almost like a video game. Oh, fight the monkeys. Now you moved on to the bugs. if you can get away from the giant bird, you can fight the big boss alien at the end. That's
That's
but
that it is.
but see the other thing that you mentioned, Leon, is very interesting. Is that Will Smith actually a lot of this is his influence. So he got this from a story that was not a science fiction story. I was reading it right here. Let me see.
Because I know he's got a story credit on
It was a television show. I don't know. Maybe I don't think it was a science fiction story, but it was called "I Shouldn't Be Alive," which I think is a father and son story.
Yeah.
Now, see, what you could have done is Will Smith could have gone the simple route, made this a story where it's just about him and his son, as you said, going camping. If they want to make it a little more grand, yeah, maybe out in the African jungle, the Australian outback, or something.
Outback, yeah,
something.
Amazon,
but then,
whatever.
Yeah, but then, but no, because it's Will Smith. You know, this is suffering from big actor syndrome. I got to go in and make this big science fiction, epic spectacle, blockbuster, big budget science fiction film, and you didn't need to do that. I get if he had made it simple and just been probably there with his son, mentoring his son in acting, he probably would have got a lot of credit for this.
Jaden, Will should have taken Jaden to go see the Hunger Games, honestly, so he can actually see what happens in between your movie from point A to point B. Give you some kind of dynamic, make you just watch the character become the badass who he should be. You know, not this all of a sudden. All right, here he is now. Here he is now, ladies and gentlemen, the badass Jaden Smith. And I was like, I'm not buying this. I was
going to say, did any of you guys buy that
No.
transformation?
No.
Not at all. Not
It's
for
like
a split second.
I mean, if Will Smith just sat back, let his son run with the movie, and I was expecting Will Smith at the end of the movie to look at the camera and say, "That's my boy." Come on, man. All right,
But he was saying, that's still not my boy. That whole
yeah,
thing.
Willow can sing, but little Jade needs some acting.
Well, I thought the biggest part, like I think we all said, is, well, at least for me, I definitely think Jaden Smith in this, I think is by far his worst acting. I mean, there was parts where I was just getting annoyed with his expressions, with his face, that the guy looked like he was about to cry every damn scene. Like
he did.
Yeah, every scene. I'm like, dude, like take it back a little.
Suck it up.
Back. Yeah.
yeah. You want to push Will Smith out of the way. Look, if you ain't gonna be his dad, I will.
See, I didn't
Man up.
Yeah,
Stop acting like a little bitch.
See, I didn't think he was terrible. I just thought he's just not. There's not a whole lot for him to do except run from stuff, and there's not. And like I said, there's nothing for him to really act against. I think the kid hasn't had a whole lot of chance. He hasn't acted in a lot of movies, and so he needs to act against another actor, not some fucking CG animal that's not really on the set.
I don't know. I think Jaden Smith, I mean, he's an actor. So the time that he has between films, he should study up on his acting skills.
Seriously.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to watch this guy learn how to act with every movie he does. I mean, and just the other thing about,
But he's a kid.
fuck him.
Yeah, but it's kind of hilarious. You say, well, he hasn't had a chance.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? The family he's born into?
Yeah.
You want to talk to like some actors who are out there doing deodorant commercials
you don't
and
see them
cry to
at
them
home.
about the chances?
Both his damn parents
kid
are
has
You don't
actors.
see them at home. You don't know what's going on.
I always hated it when we feel like an actor is being shoved down our throats.
Right.
I mean, I complain like bitterly about Shia LaBeouf with that. It's like, stop telling me he's the greatest new young actor. We've never fucking heard of him.
Well, he's not Shia
Heard of him
LaBeouf
in
just yet.
everything. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf is fucking Marlon Brando next to Jaden Smith.
Yeah, he
but this
is.
is even more blatant. It's like Will Smith going, "Oh no, you will love my son."
Right.
It's like, Will, your son does not have your charisma, and I suspect he never will. Let the boy go do something else, for God's
Damn,
sake.
y'all are rough. Y'all are harsh.
And I tell you what, that dialect or whatever the fuck it is that they tried to give him, especially when he's narrating the first part of the movie,
Yeah.
wow, did they drop the ball on that? I mean, honestly, I don't know if any of you guys in the room understood anything he said in that first 10 minutes. I mean, I caught like the first few sentences, and then as he went on, where it just became blah 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 blah, I was like, okay.
Well, you mean you don't understand what he's saying? That's exactly what he said.
Is that what he said? Oh, okay.
It was an odd dialect they chose for him because it was like mostly English, except they sounded like people who can't pronounce R's, who
Yeah.
have that sort of
They're Asians.
They should have hired an Asian person. What the-
No, that's people who can't pronounce the R as a consonant, but I'm saying who can't pronounce it in the middle. Shut up. Asians. But at first I was like, oh, poor Jaden. He's one of those kids. He's trying. But now I hear Will Smith doing it and Zoe Kravitz doing it a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet that they're trying to do it too, so we don't know that he has that problem.
Yeah. Everybody. That's another thing about the movie that's strange. They're trying to give everybody this dialect, and it really doesn't work. Just talk. That was Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yeah.
She's fine as hell.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Jesus Christ.
How come
Not
she
in the
couldn't be
film
the chick
enough.
running around, getting fighting monkeys and birds?
Yeah, I would have much rather have seen that film.
I will give the movie credit on something though, because I really love the art design and the set design in this. I think that at least that was something that was very unique. I mean, it was almost. It's like a wait a minute.
I have to break with you.
All y'all looking at me like those monkeys in the movie.
Are you talking about that spaceship that was designed by the Ewoks?
Yeah, man. I was the whole time I was like, okay, did the aliens design this ship? Because this doesn't look humanoid.
That's why I liked it. That's why I liked it.
But humans, the last humans wouldn't design their ships to look alien.
Yeah, these bland, weird, featureless quarters that look like the inside of a whale or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what? Why is this way? It doesn't
And I don't understand.
make sense.
I didn't understand why they were sitting down on wishbones with these seatbelts. These seatbelts that had the most gratuitous sound effect. Where I'm like, look, motherfucker, I don't know who you're trying to fool, but I see the GM symbol on those seatbelts, and you got this Star Trek.
Oh my God, Steve Jobs would be so disappointed with all
The
of them. You
worst
have
sound
no
effect.
vision.
I'm like,
that's why he's dead.
It's a seatbelt, motherfucker.
Oh, he's dead because of cancer, not because of bad
Well,
design.
no, but both of those things. He didn't design the cancer right. But the whole time looking at the film, I was like, not only am I not convinced by the acting and the relationship, but even these environments are so kind of unconvincing. Just the way they're put together, it's like you could just really see the seams around the effects. And I'm like, and when a story's good, I go like, effects, fuck it, I don't care, I still love it. But here, I just kept noticing, man, I just feel like I'm watching a Viewmaster.
That was my biggest problem.
Everything looks compositive. None of it looks like it belongs.
What's the
together.
problem is nothing is necessarily dumb where you go, oh, that's fucking
No,
stupid.
it wasn't. It wasn't
That
at all.
doesn't make sense. It's just that everything felt like it was half-assed.
Yeah.
Like every aspect of it felt like you just didn't put enough thought into this to really make a complete, interesting film.
None of the effects looked real. That's another reason why I couldn't buy in this character, evolving into who he eventually became, because all these environments, some of these environments, even the threat, the bird, the huge hawk, and the baboons, it all looked cartoonish to me.
Yeah.
Too cartoonish. And even in some of the environments where you see I don't know, when they put Jaden Smith out there looking at Earth, and you see these weird shadows on his face because they're trying to give you a sense that he's in a real jungle, when you just know, looking at this shadow that probably Corey drew on him, that he's not. He's in a goddamn green screen room
since Space Jam.
Space Jam.
I'm kind of divided about the animals in the movie. We didn't get a chance to really talk about that much when you and I were talking about it earlier, but some of them. Yeah, I mean, when you have that alien bird flying around, well, it's not an alien, it's a mutated bird, I guess, and it's huge.
It's called a rock.
Is it real?
Yeah. No, really, a giant bird like that is called a rock.
Okay.
R-O-C.
Okay. My dumb ass. I can't tell when you fucking with me and when you telling me something. I'm just too stupid to know.
Yeah, you're not Alan. I couldn't pull that off.
KC on his forehead does not compute.
I know, because you're going to tell me something smart, and I'm going to be like, yeah, man, quit fucking with me. You ain't for real. Anyway.
It's a big joke on Corey right now.
E equals MC squared. And shit, man. What kind of gibberish
Whatever,
is that?
man.
but man, no, there's some effects I thought were cool. I actually thought that the baboons I thought they looked great. And then there was this scene.
At times they did.
Yeah, and there was this scene with these baby birds when Jaden Smith was in a nest. I thought those were actually amazing.
Now, don't say you ain't think about that Bugs Bunny cartoon when he was in there with them baby buzzers.
Yeah. No, not one of us. No.
Not gonna do it.
Jaden Smith, no, not an actor. No.
But the fucking tiger whatever hybrid things, and lion things, they looked so awful. They didn't even get the eye proportions right on them,
But there's future tigers.
Are they? What are they?
All mutated
I mean,
and shit.
and just even like I said, the lack of creativity, quite frankly,
Because
is
that
what
turned
they
into a
came
fight
up with.
between a CG rock and some CG mutated tigers, and Jaden Smith was just kind of on the sideline. I was like, why do we even need you here?
Yeah.
By the way, it's not mutation, it's evolution.
Oh, that's right.
Get it right here.
Yeah, come on, man.
No, well,
Will
Yeah,
Smith
it's
wrote this
been-
story. Come
It's
on.
been like 1,000 years since Earth left. Evolution happens like that.
Yes, it does. I know things, man. No,
But you guys made a real interesting point how this really, it does not feel like an M. Night Shyamalan movie at
No.
all. It seemed like anybody could have directed
Well,
it.
except for that everybody is humorless and bleak looking
Yeah.
the whole film.
I think that
And nature's trying to kill you.
You can tell that it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and it's beginning, the way he directs people and the way he even directs the pacing of his films, it's beginning to actually show, it's beginning to tear apart the seams now, because it's beginning to slow his movies down. If you look at every one of his movies, all of his actors, they're very slow in their delivery. There's a lot of space between dialogues. Then that's not a whole lot of emotion, and it's starting to feel cold now. When he had a movie where you were waiting on a twist and it could distract you, you're like, okay, I can get through this with that. But now, when you don't have that to look forward to, it shows very much, and it's becoming a huge flaw, I think. Because
It
it's
is
making
funny
movies
how
boring.
now you're like, I don't know do I want the twist or do I not? I mean, the twist might suck, but then it kind of sucks to not even have anything.
Yeah,
I want the twist to be that M. Night made a goddamn good movie. That's what I want.
Well, we don't have to do any real long
No.
recaps here or anything. The movie's it's a rental to me.
I would give it a high rental because I said, I didn't come out of it mad. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna forget. I felt nothing when I watched it, and I'm gonna forget it. And it's like somebody says like, hey, should I see it? I'd be like, I kind of don't know, to be honest. And like I said about it being, it could have been, placed anywhere on Earth, not in the future. I think it just came down to Will Smith going like, well, my boy Tom Cruise is making a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
I want to do that too.
Isn't that crazy?
Come on, Jaden.
We got two Mysterious Earth Scientology movies now.
Yeah.
Will Smith and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shit. They must have. I think they actually traded set pieces with each other, at
they
a
were-
Scientology meeting.
they were
Well,
kissing.
Tom Cruise clearly didn't give him the secret on how to do one right.
Yeah, I guess.
Seriously.
Well, what do you think?
I think those two need to stop making movies together. I'm sorry, they really do. I want old Will Smith back. Goddammit, Wild Wild West was more fun than this was.
Damn.
That's
harsh.
You'll get him, don't worry.
But
Old Will Smith.
The thing is this is workmanlike, but it's shoddy workmanship. It's just, it feels like no one's heart is in this. The only thing Will was considering when he made this film is, I'm going to make Jaden into a star.
Yeah.
We're just make Jaden where he is the only guy on screen for 90% of this film, and they can't help but love him. Yes, we can. It's a low rental for me.
Yeah, cartoon animals and Jaden Smith running around with his no acting as narrow ass. Just didn't do it for
just
me.
leave him alone,
Will
man.
Smith,
Leave him alone.
I know he tried, but when I look at this movie, I just can't. I can't see anything but the metaphor that it is with Will Smith trying to get his son to act. It's like, don't do that, son.
That's my
Son.
boy up there.
Yeah, son, stop it. But other than that, the biggest crime is that it's just not all that exciting. It's kind of boring, and it's coming out in the summer, and you're just like, all right, I'm expecting more out of these movies. Come on, man, you can't just dump this. Superman's just coming around the corner. It's a rental for me.
All
Didn't
right.
care for it.
All right, well,
But on the
rentals all
positive
around.
side, it was short.
It was
Less than 2 hours.
Yeah, it was. It was less than 2 hours, and like I said, I don't think it's a bad movie, but as we all said, it's a rental. Nothing you should really run out and see.
Do you know where we are?
No, sir.
This is Earth.